2, 1, go. Hello and welcome. So, thanks for everybody for being here for my presentation. All 5 of you. Jacob's on the camera. All right. So, for the course that I just finished, I was to identify, analyze, and propose solutions to problems in my current workplace. At one point, I worked in the online department at Walmart, so that is what I chose. I approached the situation as if I was a team lead in that department. This presentation will address 4 key issues I identified, how I did so, and proposed solutions to be implemented and evaluated. The 5-step problem-solving model taught in the course that you'll see throughout this presentation consists of defining the problems, generating solutions, deciding the best solutions, implementing the plan, and evaluating results. Throughout the 5-step model, I also implemented tools and processes that I learned in instructional design. Drawing from my instructional design major, I started with 20 basic questions defining and identifying key areas, strengths, weaknesses, learner characteristics, environmental factors, and other information about the department. Following my initial process, I interviewed several members of management as well as associates in the department to fill any knowledge gaps and ensure I had the most up-to-date information. I also drew from my personal experiences and training. Following my initial analysis, I gathered my information into a SWOT analysis. I identified the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats of the department. Here are some of the literal highlights. Under strengths, the online department has a lot of experienced associates, some of them which have been there for 2, 3 years or longer. They have streamlined processes thanks to Walmart spending a lot of money on them. The department also sees a lot of high profitability. It is a very well-used department of the store. And they also have regular team meetings, both in morning and afternoon meetings between management and associates. Good for communication. Under weaknesses, I have high wait times. Customers have to wait a long time to pick up their orders, sometimes up to an hour. High nil picks. This is whenever somebody is sent out to the floor to pick up an order, to get groceries for it, and they can't find an item, they select, I cannot find it. Someone else has to be sent to go and find it later on. This slows down the process. Also, there is a lot of low morale in the department due to a threatening environment. Team leads are always in demand. Anytime there's a customer complaint, anytime there's a problem, team leads are always sought after and they're called to go solve the problem. And then next is high employee turnover, again tied to the low morale. Under opportunities, I said that the current training needs to be reinforced. Walmart is constantly changing processes, and so the associates that have even been there for 2 to 3 years or longer can get confused on the most up-to-date process. Associates that have been there for up to 2 to 3 years or longer need to be used to mentor new hires. This can take some of the weight off of team leads. I put reinstitute the lot lead. The lot lead is an unofficial position that used to exist. They were the person who would go outside and make sure every car was checked in. Next, training associates to solve order issues. Again, taking some of that weight off the team lead. If the associates can be equipped to know how to solve some of the problems, it takes some of the weight off team leads. Under threats, decreased hours. Right now, Walmart is facing a little bit of an hour problem where they are decreasing staffing and hours amongst all of the departments. Lowered staffing, again tied to the high turnover. And finally, stocking department slacking. The online department relies heavily on the other stocking departments because if items are not getting put on the shelf where they're supposed to be, if that's not being done properly, items aren't going to be found and orders aren't going to be completed. From the SWOT analysis, I highlighted 4 weaknesses as the most critical problems: high customer wait times, high nil picks, high employee turnover, and lacking team lead availability. I chose these 4 problems as the highest priority because solving them would increase positive metrics, customer satisfaction, profits, and improve the overall process of the department. Continuing from the SWOT analysis, I attempted to match each of the 4 critical issues with existing strengths and opportunities that could be used to solve each problem. Here are some of those highlights. Under problem 1, high customer wait times, the number 1 solution would be to ensure that the staging areas where orders are placed before customers pick them up are kept clean and organized to keep the process moving. Under the second problem, high nil picks, associates need to be regularly surveyed and asked for feedback, and also asked about their strengths, weaknesses, and preferred hours in the department. This would help assign them according to where their best areas are. Secondly, that associates need to be held accountable to the job that they're meant to be doing. If they're not fulfilling their responsibilities, if they're underperforming, those associates need to be held accountable, and if need be, coached or reprimanded in other ways. Third problem, high employee turnover. The number one thing I wrote was listen and act on associate feedback. From when I did surveys with current associates, that is the #1 comment that I got from them, is that they don't feel like their concerns are heard, and again, that contributes to the low morale and the turnover. Fourth problem, team lead availability. Right now, as I said earlier, team leads are pulled every which direction. Anytime there's a problem, anytime something goes wrong, they're pulled to it. If they're out on the floor picking because there's not enough pickers, if they're out dispensing because there's not enough dispensers, then they're not able to monitor the whole department and ensure that everybody is doing everything that they're supposed to properly. And so to solve that, current associates and experienced associates need to be equipped to deal with some of these issues that team leads are so often pulled to deal with. After deciding the best solutions to use, I created a 1-month plan to implement these solutions and evaluate progress along the way. Starting with week 1, each week I have assigned one of the 4 problems in order of priority. Day 1, if I was a team lead, just normal operation or work of memorizing names, make sure I know the department. Day 2, revert and improve that staging system, where orders are brought in before customers come to pick them up. That needs to be clean, it needs to be orderly, and it needs to go out on time. Day 3, reinstate and redesign the lot lead position. Previously there was 1 lot lead, and they would go out every 5 or 10 minutes to make sure all the customers were checked in. When that lot lead went to lunch, it didn't always go in plan, so my recommendation would be to have multiple people trained on how to do lot lead and motivated to fill in whenever someone is not currently doing it. The lot lead would be responsible for checking in customers who have not. They would inform customers on their options to check in on the Walmart app or calling in, and they would keep up with the whiteboard, which has the list of all the current customers waiting outside. Day 4, I would begin surveys of all of the associates. Day 5, I'd complete that survey. On that survey, I would ask for where they feel their strongest area is in the department, their weakest area, and then again for their preferred hours. Day 5 of each week, I will do a weekly report, which will be given to the other team leads and the coach who is over the team leads of the department, just to make sure that everybody is kept in communication and we're all on the same plan and strategy. My considerations for week 1 would be to monitor the check-in system, make sure customers are being checked in a timely manner, make sure that the back room is organized and clean and everything is running smoothly, and ensure that the phone, which oftentimes is when customers call in with complaints, is also being answered by associates and not just from team leads. Week 2, problem 2, high mill picks. Day 1, I would assign associates to positions in the department and, as much as I could, hours, according to the surveys that were done in week 1. I would also announce a week 2 competition to promote some positive, good competition, and hopefully drive a little bit of teamwork and a little bit of positive reinforcement. Day 2, I would reinforce the training for all of the pickers out on the floor. If they can't find an item initially, there are multiple locations where they could be elsewhere, including the back room of the store. I would need to make sure that the pickers know where those alternate locations are at and that they are actually going to check them. Day 3, I begin posting out-of-stock items. If there are items that we know are not on the shelf, all the pickers could be informed on what those items are so they're not running all over the store every 5 to 10 minutes looking for the same items. Day 4, I would view the department metrics. Walmart has an app called the Metrics That Matter app, where they track high meal pick rates, items that can't be found, the departments that those are located in, and I would communicate this information to the other stocking teams, so that if there's a department that has a lot of missing items, those managers can check to see where those are at and to make sure associates are actually putting them out correctly. Day 5, I would reward the competition winners for that week, hold the lowest performers accountable, and then again, my weekly report. Week 3, high employee turnover and low morale. Ensure associates understand that they can go to management with any issues that they have. Complete a follow-up survey based off of the one from week 1. Listen to feedback. Push for good surveys. Encourage the associates to reach better metrics. Again, weekly report. Week 4, team lead flexibility and communication. Again, equipping associates to be able to take some of the weight off of team leads so they can monitor the whole areas of the department and all of their associates. Again, following the weekly report, focusing on team building, mentorship, and being considerate of others. Finally, here's my evaluation plan. Walmart tracks employee metrics, their performance, and how the process is going. They use in-house developed tools to do this. The metrics track such things as how long it takes an associate to find each item on the floor, how long it takes them to complete an order, how long it takes an order to get out to the customer. These metrics can be used to track high customer wait times and meal picks. Employee feedback will also be a key component in tracking morale, turnover, and team lead availability. Employee feedback will be ongoing and also in both the morning and afternoon meetings. Since solving all 4 critical issues should directly increase the positive customer surveys and interactions and overall profits, these can also be used to track the progress and ensure that the plan is a success. Other members of management, including team leads and the coach of the department, will be included in the process and in evaluations each week. Here's my sources. Any questions?
You're not going to show that to Walmart, are you?
No, I'm not going to show you.
Good thing, they might promote you.
Any other questions? Thanks for being here.